INEC declares Governor Obaseki winner of September 19th Edo governorship election. Former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Mike Ogiadome, congratulates Obaseki on re-election. Johesu suspends warning strike. And on business, CBN investigates 55 companies over foreign exchange infractions.
And in sports, Sadio Mane scores twice as Liverpool beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Details of these and more after this break. I am Charles Oporum. Now the news in detail. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy, Comrade Philip Shaibu, have been re-elected for another term of 4 years. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) declared Governor Obaseki winner after a collection of results from the 18 local government areas of the state on Sunday. Governor Obaseki of the People's Democratic Party polled a total of 307,955 votes to defeat his closest rival, Pastor Osaigi Ize-Iyamu of the All Progressives Congress, who polled 223,619 votes. This was announced by the returning officer of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Akpofure Rim Ruke, on Sunday in Benin City.
Governing election held on the 19th day of September 2020 that Godwin Obaseki of PDP, having satisfied the requirement of the law in meeting the 25% in two-thirds of the local government areas in the state and having a margin of lead higher than the counted votes is thereby declared the winner and returned elected.
The Commission said a certificate of return will be presented to Obaseki within the next 7 days as required by law. Meanwhile, the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says, together with his deputy, Comrade Philip Shaibu, he remains committed more than ever before to make Edo State great again with his re-election for a second tenure. Governor Obaseki was speaking shortly after the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) declared him winner of the September 19th governorship election in the state. He said his victory was a testament of Edo people's wish and he is ready to obey their wish. Chinedu Ekeja has more.
That was the feel of the atmosphere shortly after the official declaration of the results by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The visibly excited governor was full of hope and has reassuring words for the people of Edo State. But he first expressed his gratitude to all those who made the victory a dream come true for him and his deputy.
Thank you, President Muhammadu Buhari, for defending our democracy and allowing the Independent Electoral Commission (INEC) and the security services to perform their constitutional functions without interference. Words fill me in saluting the timid supporters who displayed courage in the face of threats, intimidation, and brutalization. The collective will of Edo people made it possible for us to triumph over the federalism. We thank you all. I am eternally grateful to my party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP.
He pledged to remain committed in his second coming with his deputy, Comrade Philip Shaibu.
Our success has reinforced my belief that there's nothing we cannot achieve as a people if we pull forces together and collectively call on God for support. In conclusion, I reiterate to all of you today that working with my deputy, the Right Honorable Philip Shaibu, we are committed to make Edo great again. Thank you.
Rivers State Governor and Chairman, the People's Democratic Party Governorship Election Campaign Council in Edo State, Governor Nyesom Wike, described the election as a victory for Edo people.
Let me first of all thank all the entire people of Edo State for the support they have given to us since the campaign and during the election and after the election yesterday till today. To God be the glory, all their efforts are not in vain. Our governor has been declared as the winner that has started God fertilize me again in Edo politics. Edo people have spoken, and Edo people said, look, we cannot have our faith in one man's hand.
Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, former Deputy Governor of Edo State Chief Mike Ogedome, former Kogi State Senator Dino Melaye were among many dignitaries on ground to celebrate with the governor. Chinedu Ekeja, KUFM News.
Reactions have continued to trail the victory of Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki of the People's Democratic Party at the Edo gubernatorial election after he defeated the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Pastor Osagie Ize-Iyamu. The election was closely monitored by both local and international observers to ensure that no stage of the process was compromised. KUFM's correspondent Lebedo Masagwaram was at the venue of the result collation and now reports.
The collation of the Saturday, September 19th Edo governorship election began in the early hours of Sunday morning at INEC's office in Benin City. INEC returning officer for the poll, Professor Apofure Rem Ruke, declared the governor as the winner, having scored the highest number of required votes. However, before the announcement, the agent of the All Progressive Congress, APC, at INEC State Collation Center, Mr. Charity Amanayabo, refused to sign the final result sheet as produced by the commission.
I would not want to see myself giving credence to a process which for me has been flawed with a lot of inadequacies and drama, so it would be unfair on my part to put my signature in such a process.
But while the APC was protesting, a director of Governor Godwin Obaseki's campaign and member representing Oredo Federal Constituency, Honorable Gbede Yama, was thanking INEC and the security agency for a job well done.
And because the results were uploaded and everyone could access the results, there's peace and there's happiness.
Other election observer commended INEC for the use of its new technology, which involves uploading of results through the use of ZPad, which eliminates the clumsiness of the collation centers.
My name is Dr. Yunusa Tanko. I am the spokesperson of the National Consultative Front, NCF. One of the major interests that I had that are showcased to me is the level of commitment of the Edo people. Despite the fact that people have been chanting that there's going to be violence and people may be killed and all, they still come out and vote for the candidate of their choice. Then secondly, INEC did something that is very, very different. One, with regard to the ZPad that they introduced, the ZPad eliminated that particular issue of collation center.
They also commended the enthusiasm of Edo people for coming out en masse while calling on INEC to protect voters in future elections.
Because the electorate are the key factor of our election. It rains, remember, and during period of raining, you just disperse electorate. You need to protect them. So in moving forward, we need to have halls where people can be able to vote so that we can protect them, so that they can be comfortable in the process of our electioneering.
For Labour leader Comrade Issa Aremu, the people of the state should be commended on their level of participation.
I'm impressed with the women participation, the youths, even the elites that do normally come out. They came in good number, and I was highly impressed with the old people. Especially pensioners who came out, in 70s, in their 80s to come and vote, because they've shown, they've already seen the link between democracy and their survival.
Issa Aremu, who served as the vice president of the Nigerian Labour Congress during the tenure of Adams Oshomole, believes that the former Edo governor will take the loss of his party in good faith.
Democracy is not about persons, it's not about individuals, and I think Comrade Adams Oshomole is well known for one man, one vote. I've no doubt he will respect the outcome of this election. Don't forget that he also made a broadcast that whoever emerges out of this process, that's what democracy says, and I think he has to live up to his word this time around.
As news of the result came out, some residents in Benin City, the Edo State capital, Sunday took to the street to celebrate the re-election of the current governor of the state. The supporters, who were at Ramat Park amidst the tight security near INEC's office at Aduawa, say the governor re-election will bring more development in the state.
This joy is not, we didn't vote for PDP, we voted for Obaseki. We voted for the lack of Obaseki because of what he has done, and he will continue to do more.
We are so happy because Obaseki is our own person. He's a man of integrity. He's a man who said and stand by his word.
Give us a good job. The more he's working, the more people be on his back and support him, being a good supportive of his own governance.
Governor Obaseki's victory comes on the back of a tense and heated electioneering process that saw him dump the APC after being disqualified from the primaries. It was a dramatic process that saw Obaseki run a governorship race against Ize-Iyamu for a second time in 4 years. Both men faced each other in 2016, albeit with Obaseki flying the flag of the APC and Eze Yamu flying that of the PDP. Leredum Asagwaram, KUFM News.
The All Progressives Congress APC in Edo State has alleged foul play in the September 19th governorship election, but called on party members to stay calm while party leaders study the results and decide what is next. In a release by the chairman of the APC Media Campaign Council, John Mayaki, the party rejected the results, citing alleged strong-arm tactics. It further alleged illicit tampering with results to show PDP numbers and mark down APCs. Meanwhile, the party also claimed there was arbitrary arrest of local party members who could have resisted the outrage. The party, however, told its members to stay calm, thanking them for their support and adding that party leaders were studying the result and would announce their decision and course of action as soon as possible. Wild jubilation erupted in some parts of Benin City following the declaration of Governor Gordon Obaseki winner of the September 19th governorship election in Edo State. Supporters, friends and lovers of the governor organized themselves in different groups, some in motorcades and others with sound systems to celebrate the victory. When KUFM interacted with them, some of them said their excitement was based on the assurance of continuity in developmental programs by the governor.
I'm very excited because the working governor come back again. They were not able to buy our vote. We were able to bring him back because there were tensions everywhere. We Edo people, we love good things and we want Edo to become small London.
For the first time, we know that the people matters a lot. It's not what people in one place will decide for us. We have a say in government. The governor of Edo State fought for us and we showed him that we are very appreciative through our vote.
God has brought injustice down and justice prevailed. That is just my happiness. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm so happy. Obaseki was in APC. He had to come to PDP with the love people had, and we showed him because he has been working. He did Ogbe Stadium. He's doing a refinery. He's doing Gelegele support. No governor is better than Obaseki. Never, even in this whole Nigeria.
For others, the victory restored hope against the influence of political godfathers in the state politics and stabilized the rotational power arrangement among the 3 senatorial districts of the state.
I'm overwhelmed with joy. As you can see, you already see what is happening here. This is the dawn of a new era. Now, with what just happened, the governor just set a precedent, which means that our votes do count. And that is what we saw. We saw a very free, fair, and credible election.
Yeah, politics is all about interest. We, the Esan people, while we support Mr. Gordon Obaseki, we have said this time with another that it's a turn. So go 2024, the Esan General will play at. So we are happy today that Mr. Gordon Obaseki that will lead the Esan people to 2024 to get the governor a major winner today.
Sometimes I feel that people look at big name in politics. These days, former or big names does not win politics anymore. You know, you look at the people behind them. When people tell me then that we will not win the one, they laugh because I know that everybody who win election will want our one side. Because this big that you mentioned, they don't come home.
Among the major streets, beer parlors and markets, supporters were seen celebrating till Sunday night. Former Deputy Governor of Edo State and former Chief of Staff to the President of Nigeria, Chief Mike Ogiadume, Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, has congratulated Edo State Governor Gordon Obaseki on his victory at Saturday's election. Chief Ogiadume described the polls as not only free and fair, but also the most credible election Edo State has witnessed in recent years. He commended Governor Obaseki for his resilience, determination, and confidence in the nation's democratic process. Ogiadume, who was Deputy Governor of Edo State from 1999 to 2007, asserted that the re-election of Governor Obaseki is a product of his uncommon performance in his first term and commitment to the needs and aspirations of Edo people. He expressed confidence in the governor's ability to surpass his performance during his second term and make Edo State the preferred destination for local and international investors.
I'm so excited. We saw the vision that there must be continuity in Edo State for the betterment of Edo people, because he's a governor who is performing, a governor who has shown that his sole agenda is development of the state, and we couldn't but support him to the fullest. So I am very, very, very happy. You see, Edo State is at the point of a reset in state governance in this country. Things are being done very properly in Edo State at the moment. The Edo State government
is doing proper planning, proper execution, proper use of funds. It's a disciplined administration, and these are the things we lack presently in our country. So we will once again set the pace. The same way that Ogbemudia in his time did set the pace in Nigeria, that all other military governors were coming to take a cue from Edo State. That is where we are. We are happy. Another 4 years of Obaseki will certainly take us to greater height.
The former deputy governor commended the people of Edo State for turning out in large numbers and voting for a man who has carved a niche for himself in good governance and for believing in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, while commending President Muhammadu Buhari for creating an enabling environment for a peaceful, free and fair election. Chief Ogedume thanked the security agencies, the traditional institutions led by His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, Obayewa II, the National Peace Committee, and all stakeholders for their roles in having a violence-free election. He prayed for God's abiding grace and wisdom for the governor and his deputy, Comrade Philip Shaibu. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki on his re-election. He also hailed the Independent National Electoral Commission for the smooth process that led to the emergence of Obaseki. The president's spokesperson, Garba Shehu, in a tweet on Sunday said Buhari commended the people of Edo State, the political parties, candidates and security agencies for conducting themselves responsibly. The president urged the returning governor to show grace and humility. He said his commitment to free and fair elections is firm because without free and fair elections, the foundation of Nigeria's political and moral authority will be weak. Now to other stories. The joint health sector unions, JOHESU, has suspended its 7-day warning strike and directed its members nationwide to resume on Monday. By the directive, all health workers under the 5 unions that made up the JOHESU and Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associations are expected to return to work across all the federal health institutions in the country. The health workers had embarked on the warning strike on September 14th following the failure of the government to meet their demands. These include an upward review of COVID-19 special inducement and hazard allowances, the payment of all withheld salaries, and adjustment of consolidated medical salary structure since 2014, among others. The union subsequently met with the federal government on September 11th, but no concrete agreement was reached. But in a statement on Sunday by the JOHESU National Chairman, Bilomoye Josiah, the union said its expanded National Executive Council would decide the next line of action in due course. The union accused the federal government of failing to address its demands, noting that the Federal Ministry of Health had continued to exhibit a high level of bias by refusing to address the demands presented during the warning strike, as was done to other bodies in the health sector. He said JOHESU would continue to use all legitimate means to defend the rights of its members in the health sector. The union admonished its members to await further directives while thanking them for their commitment, cooperation and resilience during the warning strike. The CBN set to commence investigations of 55 companies over foreign exchange interactions. Details in a moment on our Business News Bulletin.
Beautiful one, I call on you today. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business, the gains and the losses, the moves and bears, the rise and falls, the risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the morning market, forecast, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
Welcome back. It's on to News Dawn on 92.7 KUFM, Benin City. And in business, amidst sustained pressures on Nigeria's official foreign exchange resources, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has opened investigations into foreign exchange transactions of 55 companies and individuals. The Apex Bank linked them to foreign exchange deals outside the official investors and exporters window, also known as I&E window. The INE window was created by the CBN as the legitimate platform for buying and selling of foreign currencies. Some of the major corporate organizations on the list include Stallion Nigeria Limited, a conglomerate involved in several sectors of the Nigerian economy. The list also includes Nigeria's leading electronic payment company, InterSwitch Nigeria Limited, as well as a leading global shipping line, CGM Nigeria Shipping Limited. Other big names on the list include Petro Afrique Energy Services Limited, Steel Force Far East Limited, Auto Petroleum Company Limited, Cavendish and Mechanicals Limited, Aquashield Oil and Marine Limited, H&L Integrated Services Limited, Fenog Nigeria Limited, and Promasidor Nigeria Limited. Elsewhere, according to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the volume of petrol supply in the country declined by 23.88% in July to 1.02 billion litres. The NNPC said the 1.02 billion litres translated to 32.95 million litres per day, down from 44.62 million litres per day in June, when 1.34 billion litres were supplied. Data obtained from the corporation showed that 0.95 billion litres, that is 30.67 million litres per day, was supplied in May, and 0.94 billion litres, which is 31.37 million litres per day, was supplied in April. The federal government imposed a lockdown on the Federal Capital Territory, Lagos and Ogun states on March 30th, but the gradual easing of the lockdown began on May 4th. In March and February, the volume of petrol supply stood at 1.73 billion, up from 1.20 billion litres in January. The NNPC in its latest monthly report said the corporation has continued to diligently monitor the daily stock of premium motor spirits to achieve smooth distribution of petroleum products and zero fuel queue across the nation. The report said Augusto & Co. expect the consumption of petroleum products, particularly PMS and aviation turbine kerosene, to decline to 27.2 million litres in 2020, given the severely restricted travel and transportation activities during the second and third quarters of the year. And finally, in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) says private investors will be engaged to finance the rehabilitation and replacement of its aging downstream assets across the country, especially petroleum pipelines. In a statement in Abuja, Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari, said some of the assets were as old as 40 years and were long overdue for replacement. The NNPC boss explained that the investors will be financing the replacement under the Finance, Build, Operate and Transfer or BOT model, noting that the model became imperative in the corporation's journey to rehabilitate its downstream infrastructure, which over time had become vulnerable, lost value and integrity due to age and incessant vandalism. He added that the investors will be able to recoup their investments, especially in the pipelines, from the tariffs that the NNPC will be paying for the use of the rehabilitated pipelines. According to him, no fewer than 78 companies submitted virtual bids indicating their willingness to undertake the rehabilitation of critical downstream pipelines, associated depots and terminal infrastructure of the NNPC through the financing model. He also assured the bidders that the Nigerian Petroleum Exchange, that is the NIPEX portal, which was deployed for the pre-qualification exercise, was a time-tested technology that would not give room for any human indiscretion. Kyari insisted that the exercise was in fulfillment of NNPC's avowed commitment to transparency and accountability as an extractive industries transparency initiative partner company, and as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari, that all its operations must be guided by integrity. And that's it on business. Over now to sports, where Sadio Mane scores twice as Liverpool beats Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Elusa Ibrika has more in our sports bulletin.
Senegal forward Sadio Mane scored a brace as Liverpool delivered a powerful statement of intent about their desire to retain the Premier League title with a comfortable 2-0 win over Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. The Reds were already in complete control even before Chelsea defender Andreas Christensen was correctly shown a red card on the stroke of half-time. Referee Paul Tierney initially opted for a yellow card but reviewed Christensen's desperate challenge of Sadio Mane as he raced onto Jordan Henderson's pass. The Senegalese then punished the Blues with 2 straight goals after the break to confirm Liverpool's vast superiority, the second of which was the result of another error from goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga. Chelsea's day of misery was complete when Jorginho, normally so reliable from the spot, saw his penalty saved by goalkeeper Alisson Becker after Liverpool's new £20 million signing Thiago Alcantara on as a half-time substitute brought down Timo Werner. Liverpool are 10th with 6 points from 2 matches, while Chelsea are 10th. In other results, Tottenham Hotspur trashed Southampton 5-2, with whom his son scoring 4 goals from Harry Kane's 4 assists, while Brighton and Hove Albion defeated Newcastle United 3-0 at St James's Park. Leicester City beat Burnley 4-2 to go top of the table. And finally to tennis, where world number 1 Novak Djokovic booked his place in the final of the Italian Open with a straight sets victory over Kasper Ruud of Norway on Sunday. This Serbian who has won the clay court tournament 4 times claimed a 7-5, 6-3 victory over the Norwegian, who is ranked 34 in the world. A maximum of 1,000 people were allowed in the stands for the first time this week to watch the action. Djokovic, age 33, will play 8th seed Diego Schwartzman, who knocked out Rafael Nadal in the quarterfinals. The Argentine beat Canadian 12th seed Denis Shapovalov 6-4, 5-7, 7-6. The tournament is Djokovic's first since his US Open qualification, and victory will be a record 36th Masters title. In the women's singles final, world number 2 Simona Halep will face Karolina Pliskova today. And that's sports news on KFM's News Dawn. My name is Ewosa. And back to you, Charles.
Thank you very much, Egosa, for those sports stories. And of course, with those stories, we come to the end of our package this morning. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. INEC have declared Governor Obaseki the winner of September 19th Edo governorship election. Former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Chief Mike Ogedumi, has congratulated Governor Obaseki on his re-election, and the Julesu have suspended their warning strike. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Coronavirus is real. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water. Use your face mask while in public, and stay safe. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Lebedum Asagwaram. I am Charles Opurun saying thanks for listening and good morning.